He's had an event called Commitmas to celebrate National Signing Day. Still does that show in February, although it feels like today is real Commitmas, really. Mm-hmm. So happy Commitmas to you, Bill King. Even though you're going to do that show in February, happy Commitmas to you today.
Yeah, just this year, because it's a long story, but our relationships with the Omni, and we lost all our rooms because a COVID cancellation rebooked for a whole lot of money, like way more money than the rate I give our people. But we typically do it in December. But, guys, December signing sucks. It was a terrible idea. They realize it's a terrible idea, and they're discussing chucking it, which I hope they do it. It's nothing like the old February crescendo where it would build up. There's no purpose or meaning. It doesn't help with midtermers. They can enroll anyways. I think they're going to eliminate this.
Interesting. And Clay Henry, one of our weekly guests from Hogs Illustrated this morning, also said the same thing, that he feels that there's some momentum towards that. I thought that they wouldn't allow that to happen because the coaches love to get these kids in school in January, and I hadn't even thought that it doesn't matter if they enroll in school. They're part of your team, right?
Yeah. You don't have to sign a national letter of intent. None of these guys have to do this today. Yeah. You can just enroll. Now, you know, you better be pretty good if you're going to pull that off because you're not bound. But now you get a freebie transfer anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Well, all right. Let's talk about a big splash here, because maybe the biggest splash in recruiting history made by Deion Sanders and Jackson State, getting Travis Hunter, the top recruit in the nation, to flip from Florida State, now playing for an FCS program. I can't fathom how this changes college football recruiting. Does this change the sport, Bill?
Oh, I don't know. I think this is probably fairly isolated, where a top recruit chooses a non-FBS school. I think that's pretty odd. This was unique, but it's what's wrong with college football. As much as I love college football, the intent of college football is not to see who the highest bidder is, no matter. This was purely about the money. Now, I'm happy for this kid. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the intent of this. I am so disgusted with so many things about college football. I love it on the field, but there's so much I disagree with, and this would be one of them.
On the flip side of the coin, I mean, obviously it's a great pickup for Deion. It's a great pickup for Jackson State. It's a great pickup for SWAC, HBCUs. The list goes on and on, how much of an impact this could have on some of the HBCUs and the FCS schools. On the other side, though, how bad of optics is it the day after Florida State gives Mike Norvell a 1-year extension to keep him under contract through 2026, that not only did he lose the number one recruit in the country, he lost it to one of his own school's most famous alumni?
A cartoon metaphor would be watching one of the old Charlie Brown shows around Christmas, and Lucy pulls the football out and Charlie Brown looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's Mike Norvell. I don't think Florida State had any idea this was happening. I think they were that clueless here, and it's very embarrassing. This one, in front of alumni associations, when you have to speak, I don't know how you answer this one.
And, I mean, how fast until the Deion to Florida State train really starts getting going? You've heard some people clamoring for Deion down in Miami when that job was kind of up in the air, even though Manny Diaz was still having a job. Do we see a real push by some boosters or just, casual diehard fans on Twitter, wanting Deion to take that next step and to return to his alma mater? Does it happen this year, next year? How quickly?
Another bad year, and it might. I'll give you an example of what you just said. I'm out in a grocery store last week, and I always grab a cap. People think I'm broadcasting for a team or something. I'm going to wear a cap. I just put a cap on. It was a Florida State cap. First one I saw in my box. So I'm walking in the store. A guy comes up to me and says, "Bill, that's my favorite team." I said, "Cool." He said, "Do you think they'll hire Deion Sanders?" Some random guy. That's how strong Deion is.
That's amazing.
That is.
That really is. Hey, I need to change the conversation, though, about something that has kind of dominated over in Arkansas the last week. Sam Pittman hired Jimmy Sexton, and what's going to happen, coming in with, big contract. I'll throw the word demands out there, but it is a starting point. $50 million for 7 years. This is the same. We know what Jimmy Sexton does. He just got big deals for Mel Tucker and for James Franklin and for Lane Kiffin. But there's this feeling that it's a very interesting group of people that are negotiating here. And I know Coach Pittman's not one of them, but here's somebody that said, this is going to be my last job. You have an AD in Hunter Yurachek who has publicly derided buyouts, and a coach and an agent in Jimmy Sexton who's almost invented the buyout the way that it's structured now. So this is just incredibly interesting to see unfold.
Well, it is, and I was at Tennessee with Jimmy. And I didn't really know him, but we were there at the same time, and everybody knows the Reggie White story and how he got started. But he and Trace Armstrong's right up there, too. But Jimmy Sexton's Nick Saban, and Trace Armstrong is the college coaching version of Urban Meyer. That's how you'd rank both of those. They're both national champions. One's just got more than the other. And, look, this is all about the money. Everything is about the money. All this talk about otherwise is just people lying.
And that's not going to change. Look, we can deride money, given to players for this reason or that reason. That, there may be different rules, but they're going to be able to make money for the rest of college football's history. And the fact with all this money coming in from ESPN to the SEC specifically, and from the college football playoff once they expand, $7 million, that may end up being kind of like a middling salary in the SEC, to be quite honest.
Might be. And I'll just have to get used to it. But the thought that we are going to a model in college where literally the bidder wins is a sad testament to the sport that I love. For me now, maybe those 35 and under, 40 and under, whatever, maybe this is the way it ought to be. But that's not the world I want to be.
Well, it also seems like this isn't the world that Dabo Swinney really wants to coach in, as he's opened his mouth again about the transfer portal. Is Dabo kind of starting to become the guy that doesn't want to change with the times, and how much is that going to hurt him? I mean, when half of your roster, feels like half your roster now is made up of transfer players, when you tell the world that you hate the transfer portal, how is that going to affect him coaching and his team trying to bounce back after a down year?
Well, not only that, but one of their strengths through the years has been continuity. And you lose both your coordinators, and you lost a coordinator prior to that to USF. And the roster has dipped back some. And they're not elite. Now, they have a few elite players. They do. But they don't have the numbers they had. They're not with Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia anymore. And I don't think this class is going to be about a top 13 class or something, but it's not going to be a class that closes the gap again with that group. So now Dabo's not going anywhere. He's not attractive to the pros because he's not an X's and O's guy. And he's making $8 million a year, and he's set forever. I don't see anything happening there. Why would you give that up? And as you can tell, he's in incredible shape. He's incredibly healthy. But, yeah, he's cracking up a little bit under pressure. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
Hey, Bill, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on with us. It's always good talking with you. Have a great rest of the day.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.